This is Justin AMZN. On Wednesday, May 8th, 2019, I am zoomed out on the 5 minute, trying to see a little bit bigger picture. Not big picture, but what I'm seeing is it's just, popping out at me here is the triangle I drew in. Why am I not finding the drawing tool? There we go. Remember I sketched something like this? Well, it looks like it's a little steeper. And then this one, we're going to still go with this. And we've definitely got an apex really close to 1925. You can kind of play around with some of the levels in here, go with something, I guess, a little bit. I mean, you want to do real true to the lows. Okay, do that, and it's 2 points. And then this one, it's going to be this here. And then, oops, did I move that? Hope I didn't move that price. 1925. Okay, still there. I didn't mean to sketch that right on 1925. There you go. Something like this. It's like, okay, now our apex is a little bit down here. It's in the 19 teens. But anyway, there's a very distinct triangle, and it's just jumping out at me. The one, I'm kind of picturing something a little bit more like this. Given today a little more room, because today was a really small candle, and that's actually exactly what we're looking for. All right, I kind of like this, touching these lows, a lot more lows, touching the high here, gets into this one. I guess technically it could be a little bit more like this, giving today some space, so tomorrow could start out in this range, or let's see if we can do what we did on this day here, where we had a nice triangle that had a false breakdown. And like I said before, it was similar to triangle I drew here. Let me draw that one again. Triangle I drew here and here. This is where it gets a little funny. Remember, I think I drew it into that low. So like that. And then we broke down just to have a rally, and then right into another triangle. And so we're just doing these triangles. I mean, they're everywhere on Amazon. If you notice them right away, it's like, okay, here's an extreme, here's an extreme. I mean, you can trade it. I mean, this was after hours to pre-market, so you would have had to have been in something here overnight, and into some puts here overnight and gotten out right at the open or something like that. But you can trade the ranges on this this is just sideways. This is how many days now? 8 days shown, 9 days on here of really just sideways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days. We're just fluctuating around 1925. Actually, if you include 3 more days here, but this didn't really shape up like a triangle. I mean, okay, I say it didn't shape up like a triangle, but I'm really definitely seeing a triangle. I see triangles all over the place on Amazon. There you go, right into earnings. There's your, come on, there you go. There's a triangle, really small. So I'm not saying that tomorrow is going to be end of this triangle. What I am saying is that it's setting up to do a bigger move, and then we just have to wait and see if it's going to come back in 1925. What I like about this one, even though it's really small, it's got an apex down in the 19 teens. And then the next one, really, apex right around 1925. And then this one, apex, really depends. I mean, this is maybe 1920, low 1920. It's all the same area. So go back and look at the daily. It's like, okay, we've been in this range. We've been in this range all these days. We did that here. We're in this range twice as many days. 6 days here, and 12 days here. This is the most time we've spent in this 1925. And there's 2 no man's lands, below and above. And we've barely touched. I mean, we really got close to 1880-05. We got pretty close to 1972-50. after hours from earnings. You know, the daily doesn't really show it as cleanly. But this is a very indecisive area. That there's some bigger moves, bigger candles, and then there's some small candles. There's this one and this one, and you know we're seeing some of these smaller candles. You know, we got one kind of like this and like this, indecisive candles, similar to that one. These two are bearish. Look at all the bearish candles in here, though. Like this whole range. This was a bullish gap and go that didn't go. Here's another bullish gap and go that didn't go. You know, it's like we're just building up this momentum to do something big, and it's, you know, it's a little bit different than just channeling. You know, it's channeling between, you know, these levels, but it's consolidating a little bit tighter every time until you get a bigger move, and then it has to pull back in, and then a bigger move again, and then it has to pull back in, and you know, find its kind of equilibrium point around 1925. So it's been a really key level, and it's just, okay, what is it going to take to move us out of this? Or are we going to be in here for a whole nother week or however many days? I mean, we did that down here, right? We consolidated. We stayed pretty tight to the range of, what was it, 1660? What was that price now? 1665.27. We stayed really tight on that for all these days. I mean, yes, we did get into some of the other lines, but there was a lot of other things interacting there. We were still bouncing. You know, we were on our way back up from this massive rally. Everyone's expecting this to do some sort of inverted head and shoulders. It didn't. So there's a lot of bulls, a lot of bears. Everyone's getting trapped, and it went sideways for, you know, 2 months in here. You know, so are we due for that again here? Could we go just sideways? Maybe. So unfortunately, there's, you know, not as much to look at on the 5 minute. If we zoom in, like we're really flat. You know, pretty flat in the open. We had that rally at the close yesterday, and then we opened just a little bit down from there. Had some really large candles, and had some really nice candles here. Some nice small ones. These are nice hammers, and then it looks like it was breaking out. And then putting high at 1925.07. Could have been shorting that, but would you have known, okay, it's going to go down and get my stop up here? I mean, that's still only 1-to-1. I did like a couple of candles up here that we had an inside candle here, and this ended up breaking down. Two really small indecisive candles that then came roaring back in 1925. But again, it's just here, it's like, okay, it's starting to bounce, and then it goes lower, and you have a lower low, and then it's like, okay, now this is a double bottom, and it breaks out. I mean, this is a lot of bullish candles. Look at all these bulls buying in here at lunchtime, just to come back down here, and more bulls to load up because they missed, and then run up here to a very small indecisive candle, forming an evening star reversal. Then with this one, another small candle, opportunity to get in on that bearish. Some folks were looking to go bullish there, and just collapsing into the close, and actually end of the day bearish, you know, getting below that opening candle, which was, you know, with 30 minutes to go here, it just didn't seem like that was possible to get down that far. But if you draw this out, so again, drawing a triangle like this, it's like there's, you know, oops, like this, this is the point that it's breaking out, you know, and then you have relative lows, or you could draw kind of like this. I keep clicking the wrong thing. There we go, like this, something like that. Or you've got, you know, the relative lows here, a little bit up. But anyway, it's just a lot of consolidation here, a lot of just sideways, people picking a direction and it not playing out. And so, you know, today was just a good day to either be really light or just not get into stuff here. It was hard to read the signals because things just keep shifting. It would have been great to have these candles here and short it from there. But there wasn't anything really clear to do that. It was making a new high in the day, so it's like you don't want to go long there, but it's maybe not always appropriate to short it there. So then this was the next best opportunity to go bearish, you know, because you're back into these candles. You have this massive run up, and you can get in directionally bearish right now up here. or you wait until it goes down and it starts to move up and get in bearish up here when it gets back into this indecisive candle, then rolls back down to 1925. So just a couple opportunities there. If you look at the options kind of moved a little bit better. Here's 1950 calls. If you're looking for buying on a pullback, $7 would have been a hard price to get in at. If you're setting your sights a little bit lower, it did pull into 6, but maybe you weren't looking at 6. But if you saw this pull back to 6 and ran up to 11, and then it pulled back to 6 again, it's like, oh, anyone who's buying down here should be buying, or buying back here should be buying again at 6 and should go, and that doesn't even make it up to 2R, because that, the calls, they just lost all the value into the close, even though it looked like it was breaking out. And then the puts, here's the 1900 puts. These had a much nicer set of lows. So, we had these lows here, and then we pull into a really nice consolidation. And you could have really been setting this up like 8x7 or something by 650, maybe even 7x6. And that would have round up, to 9 or 10, and you would have gotten a couple R on that. And then it did again, 7x6, but it didn't really rally as much. So if you're looking again for getting in at 7x6 here, it didn't work. It actually lost. So maybe you made something here, came in a little bit above break even here, you got stopped out, and then as Amazon starts to roll over, you got stopped out. It's like, this is right to get in bearish, and it's gonna do that for you again like it did earlier. But again, just knowing the signals, what were you watching for in here to make that happen? This was the clear signal to me, is that we had this massive bullish run from this double bottom. So many people think that this is bullish, and then it doesn't continue. And you got a lot of bulls on here. Actually, not as many as I thought. There's interesting volume here. We have a spike in volume here. So this volume says, I missed it. This volume says, oh, it's still got a little more to go. Or I'm sorry, this one is, I missed it, I have to get in. This one, it's got a little further to go. I'm gonna get into this. And these are, okay, this one's breaking above the neckline. This one, well, we got to close above the neckline. This one, we got to close above the neckline before these guys. This one, hey, we got to close above 1925. I'm going. This one, I'm going to speculate on this, that we're going to go bullish and not roll over from 1925. And then this candle, it's like, okay, this is, really close to tweezer bottom, 1 penny off. And I'm going to, play this bullish because we bounced here and we bounced here, and we got some large candles, with some room to run. What if we're going to do something like this again from right here? We have this wick. Let's see, the low 1921.44, and then the lows here 1921.40, 1921.39. So, the tweezer-ish bottom candle plus that lower wick, it's like, okay, you want to make sure that that holds, and then you get in bullish here. And these were the smart people watching this. This one and this one were getting in at the right time and playing it long, playing it bullish, and probably taking some profits here, taking some profits at, some of these bearish candle levels, and may not have ridden that all the way up to the top. So if that's where you're buying, this is 11.15. Let's say 11.15, you're buying calls. That's right in here. So you're getting in like 7.50 by 6.50. And then that runs up to almost 9.50. Doesn't quite get you 2R, but you're just looking to get something out of it as it moves up. Gets up to 8.50. There's an R. Take it and run. That worked. Didn't have the follow through. Nothing really just had the follow through today. To set up well and give you the good candles, I didn't really see very many hammers in here that were clear play. This is an inverted hammer. This is a really nice one. It's just so large compared to, what we had to pull back to 1925. It's large like a lot of the candles in here. And it wasn't a day for going big, but a lot of people were looking to move things, and it just didn't work. Then you have the false breakout here, right after a couple of really small hammers at not a great location. I'd much rather see these two hammers sitting right on this line, and then a close, getting a close above it or getting in on those candles. Similar to, let's see, similar to that, but not quite that. Inverted hammer here, that's close. I made some good hammers. Yeah, inverted hammers right here, and then we went lower. We actually retested back into the range. That's what I would like to see on some hammer candles. There's a nice hammer. Yeah, they just pop out. It's like, okay, here's indecision, continuation. Yeah, okay, not as many good hammers. There's a good one. This one, indecision, that got a good bounce. So they're all over the place. So anyway, zoom back out. Hard to take things. Well, let's go back to today. Hard to take things directional, knowing the level. So there's some opportunities on the calls. I'm going from maybe 6 or 650 or maybe even 7, running up a little bit, but not a lot of trade. None of the trades really late in the day got you 2R. It was the really early trades, but they weren't really setting up that well to get in directionally. Here, there's just 2 large candles. This looks like a roller. Maybe you scalp a little bit here, but why would you get out right here? It didn't take out a low of the day. It's right in this kind of some of these highs for the pre-market. So that had to do with buying here, or I'm sorry, getting out over Wall Street here or buying here on bullish. Either one of those. And then we had a nice move with a lot of bullish candles, similar to how we've done on the daily, where we did this kind of thing. And then we paused and continued. Maybe people were looking for the fractal idea of this to just have a small rest and then continue. And then in here, what we ended up doing is we had that rally, had a small rest, started to bounce, and then rolled over some more. And so a lot of people were probably trailed out or stopped out if they had their stop right up here tight after that pull back, right into 21. A couple wicks got them. Then you get this hammer. It's like, oh, we are going bullish now. I'll get back in, and then it just rips lower and hit stops. And it's just you're reacting to how things are playing out rather than sitting back and saying, okay, I'm going to plan for this. I'm going to look for this. And yesterday my plan was we should have a smaller candle. I mean, we had some bigger candles, reacting to things, whatever. We should have a smaller candle. I did want it to be above 1925, a little bit higher here. But we still got a small candle. And it wasn't that great to trade unless you knew, what those highs were or those lows were. And you're still, risking that it is going to just run your stop and not reverse, even though it's reversed. This one, it reversed here. This one, it reversed here. So it's like you're close to where there's a reversal. It totally consolidated, got tighter all day long. Another thing I think I'm seeing that you could have drawn on this is this being really steep. Something like that. So you're hitting all these lows, you get in a really tight candle here, really small candle, and that breaks down. I mean, just draw it. If you got 3 connections, 4, well, this is 4. 2 points doesn't really help. 3, including pre-market, or 4. I mean, that's really good. So if it's breaking that, if it's not working with the hammer and it's going sideways, it's like, okay, go bearish on the next candle, bearish, set your stop up here and forget it. Or, watch it get down to a target, take some off, tighten your stop. And when it, comes back down here to relative, oops, that was drawn, relative lows down here, then get out. And choose to get out when it's moving in your direction, that kind of stuff. So hope this helps. I just want to do a short one tonight looking at some of the indecision here. But I'm really thinking tomorrow could be a good move. Thursday and Friday this week. I don't know if we're going to run up. Maybe come up into, what price was this? 2025. So, I mean, 2025 is a nice level to go to from 1925. That's another $100 up. I could totally see us doing that, just like we rallied out of this and came right into that, right into those prices. The high here was 2033.19, the high here in 2026.52. It only took 1, 2, let's see, where's this one? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles from this level here. So 5 candles up. Let's see, one. Trying to check like what the date is. So 9, that's 1. 10, that's 2. 13 is 3. 14 is 4. So in 4 days, maybe 4 days instead of 5. If it goes up, if it goes down, probably we're going to see. It'd be nice to see 1841.30. Pull down here. We had another nice consolidation. We bounced off it before. It'd be a good retest. Maybe fill this gap. And you're coming right into a clear area of resistance from a long while back. So it makes sense to retest to a level there. I mean, this one hanging out at this price, only thing we're retesting, we're not retesting highs, we're retesting lows from this. And I mean, it could totally take out a low rather than a previous value we've seen, you know, that it's going to bounce over a high like this coming down here. So if it goes bearish, I'm looking for 1841.30. If it goes bullish, I'm looking for probably 2025. What's the next line? I don't remember which lines these are. We haven't been up there in so long. 2013. I mean, either of those to get up into bullish are nice targets to have on the downtrend slope. So I guess we'll see what we get. Hope you enjoyed this video. This is Just AMZN. Thanks.